Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John. Today we'll be reviewing the new album by the band Midnight called There Be Witchery. In this video I will talk about why I chose to review this album. I'll give a little background on the band, then I'll talk about the album, I'll go through the songs, and I'll give you my final thoughts and score. So to be honest, I wasn't planning on doing a review of this album, but last Friday I watched a review by the channel Hammerheart Metal Reviews, and he reviewed this album and kind of sparked my interest, So after that, I kind of did something I usually don't do, and I went to watch the reviews of the other channels to see their opinions before I did a review of this. I usually don't watch reviews before my review, but anyway. So I watched the Metal Meltdown, I watched Pair of Jeans, I watched the Chill Dude on the Couch, and they all gave their reviews, and on those channels they all had very different opinions of this album. So I thought it would be a good idea for me to review this, being that I do not listen to and or review a lot of black metal on this channel, so it is something different for me. So this is a one-man black metal band formed by a guy named Athanar. Not a traditional black metal, it's more of a black and roll type of sound, and that's kind of the term used that Hammerheart Metal Reviews used in his review. So basically a mixture of black metal and speed metal. Now in my opinion, I thought there was a big Motorhead influence, and the other channels are saying the same thing, as well as some of that older black metal bands, like Venom. You hear a lot of that influence. You do hear some Merciful Fate, more the guitar tone, not really the vocals. And anyway, so it is a short album, about 34 minutes. Kind of perfect length for this type of music. There are 10 songs. The album title is a combination of the two songs, Let There Be Sodomy and the Szex Witchery, which is SZEX. Now the latter song they made a music video for. You can see the dark imagery and the black leather wardrobe of, the main frontman and the rest of the band. So this is a dark and heavy music. So with that being said, let me go through the songs. The album opens up with Telepathic Nightmare. And this one is a slow building intro. It has the lead guitar playing a slow haunting melody, but then the song takes off with lots of speed. The guitar chords seem fairly simple, something similar to punk rock. The vocals are very harsh, that black metal style. Now the production on this album is very good. You do hear the guitars and you hear the bass very clearly, so that's pretty cool. The next song is called Frothing Foulness, and this one has some heavy riffs, some deep string bends. The song has a fast rhythm, kind of a simple chord progression. The guitar solo has a very old school Motorhead type of sound, and I will be mentioning that band a lot throughout these songs. The next song is called In Sinful Secrecy, and this one has some power chords, kind of more like a classic punk rock. Song moves at a fast pace. You do hear a lead guitar playing guitar fills over the main riffs. So a pretty cool song. Next song, Nocturnal Molestation. This one continues with that same energy and the same pace of the other songs. This one has a very old school punk rock vibe, but kind of very dark and graphic lyrics. The guitar solos do have a very classic metal sound. Some of them remind me of those old Black Sabbath. I do hear a little of that Tony Iommi influence on some of the solos here. Next song, More Torment. So they slow down the pace a lot with this one. Now this one, it reminds me a little of that a Dirt era Alice in Chains. They do those heavy string bends, but still that classic black and roll sound with the heavy chord progressions. This song does have a little cowbell at the end. They kind of added in, adding a little flavor to the song, but it's not something that they use a lot. Next one, Let There Be Sodomy. Now I think this one has more of that classic black metal chord progressions. They play those guitar chords where they play them on the lower strings, but higher on the neck of the guitar, and they play the heavy chords more in the chorus. Still has that punk rock energy, and it still has that old school Motorhead sound. Next song, Devil Virgin. This one's a little different. It has a melodic lead guitar melody in the intro. The main riff before the verse sounds a little more classic heavy metal. It does retain that black metal sound. The song is mid-paced, maybe a little different than the others. Next, Snake Obsession. It's a short song under 3 minutes. Fast and heavy punk rock. The drums stand out a lot in the song. They have a very fast pace and they give the song like lots of energy. The next song, Villainy, Wretched, Villainy. Now, this song title reminds me of like that line in that like original Star Wars movie. You probably remember the line with like Ben Kenobi, like before they go to the cantina. Anyway, not sure if that was the inspiration, but this one has some like sustained power chords, kind of moves at a mid pace. Like the other songs, has those chord progressions that kind of seem simple, but it is effective in creating like a very catchy, like a black and roll type of song. The last song is that Szex Witchery with the SZEX final song, and this one was that video clip I showed before in the review. Does have a very old school punk rock vibe with a catchy chord progression. Like the other songs, it does have that Motorhead and Venom type of sound. Now I really like the guitar riff towards the end of the song. It's like very slow and dark, almost like a Sabbath-y type of riff. Probably my favorite riff on the album. So the final song is probably one of the better songs on the album. So in conclusion, my final thoughts, I guess I thought it was a decent album. I mean, it was different for me. I don't really listen to this type of music that much, so I was kind of interested. The songs are fast-paced and filled with lots of energy. So it's probably like the type of album, I would listen to like going to the gym or doing some type of physical activity. I thought the songs were kind of simple, but I guess that's what they were going for. It's more that like punk rock energy as opposed to like a very complex and technical type of album. For me, as someone who doesn't listen to black metal often, I'll give this a 7 out of 10. It did keep my interest, but not really sure if it's something I'll go back to that often. So let me know in the comments what you thought. That is all. My next 2 videos, I will be moving away from the heavy metal a little bit, doing some classic rock. So I will be covering the debut album by Foreigner, celebrating 45 years, and Thick as a Brick by Jethro Tull, celebrating 50 years. Please remember, like, comment, subscribe. Check out some of the other videos. I will stick some right there, and I'll see you all in the next one.